What's up, guys?
How's it going? Got some smooth tunes. What more could you ask for?
How's your day, Bobby?
It was good. I feel like, those days when I'm at the end of it and I'm like, dang, that was a busy day. And then I look back and I'm like, I can't really tell you one thing I did, though. It's kind of one of those days for me.
Yeah. Like, what were you doing? Were you learning something? Like.
It was like, I was talking with somebody, they're like, oh, how was your day? And I was like, I feel like I did a lot of work. And then I was like, I can't remember what I did at all, but I did work. So I can't remember what I did. It was like little tiny things and just like responding to emails, kind of like one of those days, I didn't edit anything. I didn't shoot anything, but
you weren't.
How about you?
So as you can see, I'm still attempting to learn how to use this ATIM Mini Extreme that you're going to see right here.
Just heads up, everybody. We're putting what we can into making this live stream as good as possible for you guys, and that is one of the new things. We're switching over in how we're doing this, so bear with us. There might be a few hiccups.
What? We sound terrible. Do we need to turn it up, Jared? Or is it just weird sounding? Oh, geez.
Or is Jared just mean?
Jared's a mean boy. 1, 2, let me just see what you got. Oh, yeah, it is loud. Huh, that's weird. That's me. That's on me.
We'll whisper to you guys.
Yes, that should be better.
We're still working on everything.
That should be better, right, Jared? Oh, what? No, you know what happened? Wait. There we go. Embarrassing beginning of our live stream. That's
all right. Well, did everybody hear about my uneventful day?
Yeah. Is that better, Jared?
Do I need to recap it?
Is that better? I can't see in the chat. What's up? Yeah. Should be good now.
It's Jason's fault.
It was my fault, actually. It was great. Now we're good.
Sweet.
Nice. Hey, so before we get going, there is a magical thing in here that I'm not sure you're aware of called, we got stickers and we got super chat and all these different things. So if you want to show some support, feel free to click on down there. Helps the channel a little bit. So feel free to do that.
You want to type a message to Kodak? You're welcome to do that. Just going to be on my lap.
Oh, Kodak. I wasn't like, yeah, release that camera. Oh, wait. No, it's your dog. I want that Kodak Super 8. So while we're kind of waiting for people to load on, we are competing with the wonderful Matt Johnson live stream. Oh, actually, this is a good time to announce it. Actually, Matt is on the podcast in 2 weeks.
Yo,
Matt Johnson's on the podcast in 2 weeks. So
we love Matt.
Friend of the channel, very, very good YouTuber, extremely funny guy. This is all I'll say, like, if you watch Matt's channel, that is how Matt is.
Yep.
He's like that in real life. He's just that nice of a guy and really cool guy. So he's on the podcast in 2 weeks. Next week we're going to be roasting you guys with the series. How many guys actually? What's crazy? We had tons of people of you guys out there filling out, downloading. If you haven't done it, if you go to weddingfilm.school, I'll put the link in there. If you go to weddingfilm.school/resources, we actually, I'm going to spell this wrong. Resources.
I would have it queued up for you guys. Guys, I'm in the chat tonight for the most part, but I wasn't aware that we'd be talking about our business resources.
Yeah, but if you go over there,
you
we're doing we have a downloadable for you guys if you're wondering how to build a business plan for a wedding film company. It's really more of a self-analysis.
Yeah, helps you dive deep in
yeah, I mean, it's like 13 pages long, but we had like tons of people download it, and hopefully it's helpful. And if you're looking for a resource like that, check it out. But what we're doing tonight as a resource is we are going to be critiquing some films. We're kind of just stalling while people are coming in. So if you're watching this later, you probably fast forwarded already to the part after the terrible audio. and until you saw a film. But anyway, so we're going to do reviewing some films, talking a little camera stuff and gear and whatnot, and just kind of generally hanging out. So do you have the films queued up, or should I do that, Bobby?
I do not have them queued up.
Okay, I'll get the films queued up of what we're going to be reviewing.
Sweet.
But while we do that, why don't you tell everybody about tonight's sponsor?
Yes, so our sponsor tonight, YOLO Live. Many thanks to them. They create the YOLO box, which you can see right here. Kodak might even lick it. Let's see. Nope. So YOLO box, awesome little tool. We're going to dive in a little bit deeper later in the stream, but this is basically an all-in-one streaming switching device. So you can live stream a wedding or anything that you want easily. You've got multiple inputs up on the top here. I'm going to hold it poorly. You got multiple inputs up at the top. It kind of works. You can see everything. You can click. It's touchscreen, so you can switch between different angles. You can put multiple angles in here, audio sources, stuff like that. All the control right on here. And yeah, really cool device. Also, one really important feature of this specifically, you can put an SD card in here and you can record what you're live streaming as well directly in here. So you can get like a polished, finished thing right out of this at the end. So a really cool device. I'm going to hit you guys with the link in the chat. There it is a couple times. If you want to check it out, they are today's sponsors. So really cool device, and it gets you like, I don't know what these things are. I feel like the price fluctuates, you know, by $100 or so here and there. It's like $900, something like that. Like you basically make the prices back in one thing. And you can do Wi-Fi, you can do Ethernet, you can do a SIM card. So really cool device. Many thanks to them for sponsoring the show today.
Yeah,
and we've actually got a video on that if you want to check it out. We have a video on the channel where you can see kind of more how it works and stuff.
Yeah, I actually remember I was trying the recording and I was like, oh, this is gonna be terrible. But
I thought the exact same thing.
But it wasn't bad.
And it worked, yeah.
It wasn't bad. Like I would be fine
is,
delivering that to a client, to be honest.
Yeah.
Assuming I did a good job cutting it. Anyway, is that all we got for that? Do you want to get into a film?
Yeah, let's do it, Jared. I'm drinking a Lagunitas IPA. That's tonight's beer of choice.
All right, so let me tell you guys a little bit about first person. We got Buddy Gromowski, Buddy G Design, Buddy. And what's cool is this is Buddy's first wedding video. And he said he was nervous. Don't be nervous. We love you. It's going to be great.
I'm still nervous.
Yeah. And
after 15 years.
Yeah, me too. So this is a little bit about the day. He got to the hotel at around 8 o'clock in the morning to shoot bridal prep. They didn't want to do the first look. Okay. I've been there. That's frustrating. The ceremony and reception was at a different location, 15 minutes away. So he's dealing with moving around. There was raining involved, all this stuff. He shot everything on a Canon M6 Mark II and a Canon M50. Yeah. So let's, whoa, no, go away, go away. Hold on.
Jason, double feature Jason.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I failed at the ATEM today. I tried really hard, and then I made one mistake. I had it perfect. I will tell you that. I did have it perfect. And I made a mistake, and ever since then...
So, buddy, I want to know, while Jason gets this, so you said that they didn't want to do the first look. Was that like, did they change that on you? Or was that just like they didn't want to do a first look for you? Like you knew that from the beginning. You know what I mean? Hit me in the chat. I'd love to know, because that would be like a pretty major change if they were just like, nah, I know we told you we would, but we're just not going to do it.
Yeah, I think that been there, done that, and so
yeah. I've obviously seen it both ways.
Very frustrating. Anyway,
okay. So you did know before, but yeah.
Yep.
Still frustrating.
But anyway, it does happen. So we're going to watch the film, and I'm going to full screen it for you guys. And Bobby, feel free to pop in if you want as we go, and just kind of stop it wherever. We got 4 films tonight, actually. We got one more, so we can probably buzz through it. As always, we're going to be reviewing these things for cinematography. We're going to be looking at the editing. How, obviously, is it cool? Is it fun? Does it make me feel something? Which, of course, leads into your story. And, one of the elements that we try to grade a little casually because of how the audio goes on these things is the audio. You know, we don't want to go too crazy because we know the audio that you're hearing streaming is not always the audio you're going to hear in real life. But
Yeah.
we think this is a pretty good representation, most of you. So anyway, here we go. So here is the film. Also, guys, let me know how the audio is on the film, because yeah, can't always tell. But oh, I did that thing I always do where I don't change the source over.
Sanat, I know they can't be here today, but I'm confident that they're smiling down. So I just want to say that I wish you both the happiness.
I'm curious how he got the audio there, buddy.
Yeah, I actually, I was gonna say, because it doesn't it sounds like room tone type, you know.
Camera audio, something like that. So answer that in the chat, buddy.
Of upcoming years, and I hope that you both carry the spirits of mom and dad with you every step of the way, and cherish the love that they've given to all of us in our family.
I like that, buddy, by the way. Even though it seems like it might be a little bit out of nowhere when you kind of have like a goofy sound, you know, something funny and whatnot. I think it brings a little bit of the character when that person's laughing and that kind of thing. So
I like ambient audio. I think when it's used well, it can put you in the environment. Yeah,
so that was good. It gave me a little sense of his personality and all that stuff. So good use there. Oh, and if you can also let us know, if either they paid for something or you did it for free, but how long of a film was the couple expecting, and what did you sell them? If you can let us know.
Like, what did they buy?
What did they buy, or what did you promise them? I think that's always a interesting.
Oh, interesting. So he says it was a shotgun mic, and that the DJ was playing music during that. Which did you? Okay, I have a question.
On camera shotgun.
Yeah, on camera shotgun. So I mean, that's hard to make sound great anyway, but especially if you're trying to do some effects around to get out of that music or get that music out of there. That's really tough. But did you put your foot down after that speech and tell the DJ no more music for any future speeches? That's what I want to know.
I'm also curious if you brought another recording device or if you only had an on-camera shotgun.
Yeah.
Moving on.
In Sanat's love is the force that brings us here today. In fact, love is the force behind much of what we do every day. Whether making a meal for our family, taking time to teach our children, or lending a listening ear to a friend. Even in the mundane, commonplace routines, love is always a reason.
So one of the things back there, Bobby, I noticed is there was a lot of kissing in a row.
Yep.
And those are the types of things where like I'll notice it, where I'll be like, there's also just like some strange stuff like when they were kissing at the aisle. Did you notice she keeps stopping him from kissing and keeps like grabbing his mouth and like
she's fixing his lipstick,
him, and like right here, watch, like at the first kiss, like, so there was like 4 kisses in a row. And one thing I'll tell you is like when you're doing an edit like this, you might want to like, this is weird to me.
Break it up a little. It's also the other thing with it especially is it's 4 kisses in a row, which is like I don't know that like the act of kissing itself is the big deal, but it's 4 kisses for like pretty much kind of like medium.
Okay,
like
so watch her hand here. She's like, no. Whatever you're about to do, which I don't know what she thought he was gonna do. Don't kiss me. Okay, kiss me. Anyway, I just noticed it was like kiss, 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 kiss. Same frame.
And it kind of actually, MN Studio said this too. I was gonna say like it kind of went into this series of slow-mo shots when that wasn't really your style up to this point. You didn't really have that much slow-mo, so it seemed a little bit out of place. Yeah,
and right here I could tell you popped out of the church really quick.
Yeah.
And your white balance got messed up from the transition out of the environment. You're a little overexposed. Just noticing that right there. It's not the end of the world either, but just a thing.
Sanat, you look absolutely beautiful tonight. Am I right?
I would slap that DJ for that light. Let's talk about that really quick. What would you say to that DJ with the light changing colors the whole time?
Oh,
Bobby?
so I would have basically, when I walked into that reception venue and seen that he had lights, that's when I talk through. I mean, I test audio with him. I usually don't anymore say like, just a heads up, like you're not planning to play music or anything, right? But that is something like if I heard it, I mean, so buddy, are you shooting solo? Because, I always shoot with 2 people. If I heard music going, I would be like, I'd run over there instantly and be like, I need you to cut the music. Like I would have 10 seconds of that music. And same with the light. Like I have no problem if I know that's going to destroy my shot, which it does. I'm like running over there and I'm just like, hey, cut that light up. But the light specifically, because I think that's a lot more common. I think it's pretty uncommon that DJs play music under a toast. I've had it happen.
Very uncommon. That's a very
Uncommon,
unprofessional DJ.
Yeah.
The one thing I'll tell you
the
about
lights, the lights, I would have that conversation when I walked in that reception. I'd be like, hey, and these lights, like, I just want them to stay off until, like, open dancing, go for it. But first dance, toast, whatever, kill them.
Actually, let me say something I've said to them before that's a little more diplomatic that they like. Because you want to make a friend wherever you can make a friend. I've said to them, hey, can we just look at your lights really quick? How about we set it to like a natural tone during the speeches? And I've actually been able to like work with the DJ a little bit and get what I want out of their lights. I don't want like that blue, like I'll get it more natural light. Like, I guess what we're saying is when you're new, this is the part that is hard, but everyone is pretty much used to having conversations with each other as teammates. And so just don't be nervous because it's your film.
Don't be afraid to ask for what you need because it's important too. And if they're professional, they'll understand.
Yeah, especially if you're like understanding what they need to do and you're all working together. So
yeah, we're gonna talk at the end. One of my things that I specifically want to talk about with your toasts are the angle that you chose, and I think that the light wouldn't be as much of an issue with a different angle. So we'll talk about that.
I agree.
Yeah.
Actually, what a year. Crazy whirlwind of emotions, planning, tons of anxiety, smiles, and tears. All because these 2 beautiful people fell in love. I feel incredibly privileged
Look his hand.
for all these years and to be part of the big day. Sanat is one of the purest, greatest, most inspiring and selfless people that I've ever met. Sanat and Travis are truly inspiring to me. They are not just boyfriend, girlfriend,
Little
parents,
jitter there.
fiancés, and now husband and wife, but they're best friends. And I believe that is something that we all strive for in a relationship, and that is...
Notice how many times we cut back to that shot of them walking out of the wherever they're walking out of. It's a lot.
Hey, buddy, did you ever? I might have missed it in the chat. Did you ever let us know what they ordered?
Or what you were expecting to make for them? Maybe you did it for free as like a portfolio builder, but what was like the desired product?
We should all hold on to and never let go. You guys are so much more than just great friends of mine. You're family.
Sorry, I'm just tweaking it.
Goes without saying. And being alongside of people today.
Were you handheld there or like?
Looks like a gimbal. Looks like gimbal everything.
Okay, watch this sequence, Bobby, with the push in over the grass and then cut back.
Many of us have been lucky enough to fall in love before, but real love is when you're able to fall in love with the same person over and over again. I have witnessed the undeniable love that you 2 share, and I can guarantee you it will not always be easy, but it will always be worth it. So here's to falling in love over and over again.
Dang, that's an entrance.
I know, man. If only there was some bokeh. Or backlight.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't know if I told you.
I'm noticing a lot of the shots here that they're not in the center. Like when they're supposed to be. Like the lead is wrong. Either you're not giving lead room the direction the person's talking, probably what you're going to talk about, or like you're kind of trying to do like a parallax move, but you're not keeping the subject in the middle. That might
I know I'm definitely going to talk about gimbal in general.
Yeah, that might just be something you need to practice a little bit, but the framing of like, what am I looking at here? Like the story you're telling with the framing, I think matters a lot. I'm also interested to know why we're back to the getting ready. This is like,
I was literally just going to say, you've definitely transitioned to a new section of the film, and I don't know why we're back at getting ready.
Yeah.
And now I can't wait to hold you. Yeah, you pull me up when I'm falling down, and I don't know what I would do without you. Yeah, you pull me up when I'm falling down. Hey, now look into my eyes. You can use them as a mirror, baby. You're my ticket to paradise. Hey, now everything's alright. We've been longing for each other, and it
DJ
feels
working hard.
like I'm on cloud nine.
Weird shutter speed or something.
Yeah, there's some.
Like the best man speech when it's your brother.
It's like some weird shutter speed going on during those dances, like which
got
I don't
the,
mind. This slow shutter.
The old groom with a gun.
Yeah, classy.
Okay, I have a question. Shoot, what was my question? I don't remember. I'm writing down notes. But,
It could be
I don't
anything.
remember what my
It could be.
question was.
The question could be anything. I mean, probably not. It's probably related to. The film.
Your promises for the present and for the future.
Oh yeah, I remember what my question was.
Okay,
Do we
pause.
have-
Cherish each
I
other
don't
and-
know this. I don't know what this song is, but we're cleared for this, Jason.
Yes and no. We have an Epidemic Sound membership,
Okay, it's okay.
so
All right.
I haven't got the key yet, but yes.
And your hearts will be forever upgraded together.
Up.
You will dream in your dreams of one. We'll have everything with dreams in the other. You will make room in time and mistakes, and you'll speak with pride, and your life will build. You will belong to each other. As friends, as companions.
So I personally would not use this speech.
Yeah.
It's not
I-
good.
I don't think it's that great. I know something I'm going to talk about later too, or when we get
Yeah.
to the end of this. Just like this is a much longer film than it should be. I think.
I
and,
would
like,
just
this
give
speech is a
them all
great
this.
example.
This is what I always will tell you guys. Just give them all their speeches.
Yeah.
But like,
Then you don't have to include it if you don't
don't
want to.
because that pressure to like include an excerpt of every person's speech in the highlight film. I don't do that. Do you do that? I only put good
Oh.
things.
I literally, I will like if nobody has a good speech, I'll put nobody in it. Like,
Me too.
I do not care.
I was watching.
And part of that is time though. Like I used to be much more inclusive. Now
I was
don't care.
watching something, and I've watched a lot of Alex and Whitney from Sculpting with Times films, and I know Alex real well, and they don't put anything that doesn't look good in their film.
Yep.
That's the thing. So or sound good or whatever. It's only the
I
choice
think that's
stuff.
a great, like, I mean, obviously Alex and Whitney are phenomenal.
Yeah,
and
they
just
don't-
on an entire different level. But like that is a great like thing to strive for no matter what stage you're in, which is like if this doesn't make my film better, like literally just this shot, if this shot does not make my film better, if this audio does not make my film better, it doesn't get included.
Yeah, and you got to be okay with that. Like it's okay
Yep.
to not include everything, and if someone makes a fuss about it, say, "Oh, you know what? How about I just give you all the speeches? I'll give you more."
Yeah.
And then they feel like, "Oh, I'm getting more," and you're getting what you want, which is a product that you can promote to your next client. So moving on.
Yep.
The stars shall live. You guys shall be together. Amen.
Oh yeah, look at that light change.
Yeah, it's going the whole time. It's crazy. All right.
Oh, so Michael's got a good. So before we jump in, so Michael had a good question of, but what if it's what the couple wants, everybody included? So
I would say
I-
no. Me
Yeah,
personally.
what do you say to that?
I say, so you don't want the thing I sell? Okay, bye.
Yeah, I say that to their face, exactly like that. No, but I mean that is like you're joking, and of course
I'm
am
kidding,
too, but that is
also serious.
like we don't say it like that, but that is essentially what we say too. Like it's not that they don't want what we're selling. So because we've done films where there's 3 or 4 speech givers included because they're all great speech givers, but I do get asked this pretty frequently. It's not every client meeting, but a lot of them, and I'll usually explain it like this. I'll just say like, hey, we are out there to make the best film for you that we are proud of. So I can't control what people say, and I'll usually joke around too. I'll be like, we've heard speeches that are like amazing, and we've heard speeches that are like pretty bad, and like we've heard speeches that like have torn families apart. No joke. And and so I'll say like, we're not gonna.
We should do a show about that sometime.
Oh yeah, that was a whole thing.
Craziest
like,
things.
Yeah. But I'll say, like, you know, we're not gonna we don't want to be held to including something now because we don't know what it's gonna be like.
Yeah.
So like it all goes back to like we want, and you know, I'll usually end it, and it all goes back to ultimately we want couples who trust us to create something that, you know, is awesome and they're gonna love.
So I have a mildly different tactic with what we do. We'll say sometimes we'll just include it and we're like, man, whatever, we'll just never release it. So we're in a different position. We're in a different position. Like if I'm early in my career, I really need bangers to like put out there. We have so many films that we're doing that like a lot of them we're like, whatever. If this couple isn't going to trust us, the film isn't going to work anyway. So there are times we do that. The other thing that we do a lot of times is try to get them. We say, oh, is that really important to you? Let me sell you something that has that.
Yeah.
It's another product that I don't like. Let me sell you the speeches. And if they're like, feel like they're getting ripped off, I can give you a multicam edit for free. It's not a big deal to me. It's an extra hour of my time. So if someone's really asking for that and I can give them the multicam edit and they feel like, here's what you need to know about sales. Sales, everyone wants to feel like they won the deal. That's the thing with couples. They want to feel like that you worked with them, that you listened to them, and that you tried to meet them where they were at. They don't need it always to be. Usually you can both win. I can't really think of too many scenarios where you couldn't figure out a way to make the film you wanted and make the couple happy.
Yeah, and there's always the option, like you said, of just not like, okay, I'm just not gonna promote this one. Now, if you're doing it for free, that's not what you should be doing. And Jared brings up a great point in the chat, which is if you're doing this for free, this video should be 1,000% what you want.
That's my opinion.
Yeah,
it's
but you know,
or at least you should do another cut.
Or do another cut. That's the other option too.
You know,
and that's still an option. That's the nice thing, right? You have all this footage. You can do another cut. You can do a 3-minute video if you want. You can do whatever you want.
I would say for marketing purposes, you need a lot of under 5-minute films.
Yeah.
Are what sells your business. Anything more than that, people are like, I'm out. Check. They don't want to spend more than that. So Bobby, why don't you go through your?
We're not done with you. Sorry.
Stick around,
you think
Bobby.
You're off the hook, but you're not off the hook.
No, okay. So let's start with cinematography. Any notes you got about that, Bobby?
Yeah. So a few things. So first of all, there's a lot, including the shot we're on right here. Unless Jason is hosting this, right? So unless it's on my stream, and I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. I saw a lot of clipping, a lot of your whites being blown out.
No, they're clipping. You're right.
Okay. Yep. So yeah, the whites, I never saw anything that was too dark. So I think I don't know what you're using for a monitor or whatever, but I think you got to monitor that a little bit better. You can always bring them up if you want like the light and airy look, but you're kind of beyond that. Like this is a great example that you're on right here.
I'm wondering about auto white balance too. That's what he's using.
Yep. So your white balance, some of it looks on, and then some of it looks like your skin tones are kind of in different areas throughout different.
A little magenta-y, a little. I mean.
Yeah, it changes. So I don't know if you're on an auto white balance or if you're on a Kelvin white balance, and it's which we have a video coming out on, I believe, and it's you're changing different scenarios and whatever, but. Let's see, a few other things. So I wanted to talk about that toast shot. So we talked about the lights and how they can be an issue and how we try to get out ahead of that if we can. Now, all your toast shots, actually, I'll walk this back just a step. You're on the gimbal, it might be every shot on the gimbal, which I think is a no-no. I've talked about that. I talk about that all the time about I think that being on a gimbal, especially this early in your career, is a crutch, and I don't think it's the way to go. Especially things like a toast, I would be locked down on a tripod. There are times where there's jitters. There's times where you're moving around while they're talking. There's times where you're coming down low and under them, and I just don't think that a gimbal for something like this is the move. But I will say this shot. So we're looking at this frame right here. You got the DJ in the background. You've got the DJ's equipment in the background, and you've got the lights. The purple lights on the wall in the background. This is something where I would have moved them. I would have told them, I literally tape an X on the floor with gaff tape. And I say, hey, I want you here. I would do that, and I would have picked something different. And if they had to be right there where they are, what I would have done is shot more from the side to try and get, I don't want the DJ and his crap back there.
I don't want to
would
see
love
that. I don't want to see
I
that
would
guy.
I would love a nice clean background, but if I can't get that, I would 1000% take the guests that are probably off to her left or right over the DJ in the
Yeah,
background.
this is one thing you want to keep in mind is like, it's good to have people in the background that the couple knows.
Yep.
You know,
Like that DJ, granted, some vendors
that dude came from
remain
a
lifelong
DJ
friends,
factory.
but probably not that guy. Yeah, exactly.
He came from DJs R Us.
Yep, yeah. Other than that, on the actual color grade, or sorry, not color grade, on the actual cinematography, I don't think I have a lot more. Kind of getting on that gimbal note again, one thing I noticed, you have a lot of shots. So you're on the gimbal and you have movement in every shot. And I think that's a little bit too much. And some of your movement, which, you know, movement is not inherently bad, but some of your movement is, and I've brought this up in other live streams, where like you're pushing in and then pulling out in the same shot. It's like
Yeah,
you can't
or
disrupt
starting in your edit like
Yep.
static, and then
and
you
then
move.
like a second in, you start moving.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
you
like-
gotta just be. Yeah.
So there's a concept in cinematography called handles, and it literally used to be like they would have handles in that they had to actually pick the film up, right?
Yeah.
And so they wouldn't just like turn the camera on and do the thing, right? So like you want to do the same thing with your motion. You want to have handles, so that way when you fade and do a transition, you're not just having to like cut it prematurely. So anything you want to do, just plan on having a little extra motion at the beginning and end of your frame. There's a couple little things too. Maybe I can find it. Maybe I can't. It's not overly important. But this shot, yeah, there it is. Ugh. This shot just bugged me because this is an editing thing. So the editing, I would say, it's kind of all over the place. And you're a good shooter, by the way. So the last thing I want you to think is like, how am I ever going to do this? These guys think I suck. No, you don't suck. You're good. But one of the storytelling things that you're going to learn is like giving a person a sense of progress in the wedding film, and like I mentioned before, streaming the multiple kisses together. I was like, all right, they're kissing. Okay, they're kissing. Okay, they're kissing. Okay, I think it was 7 shots I counted where the people are doing the kiss, and like in 2 of them the lady's going like, or like touching his face or stopping him and doing these things, and like, you know, those are fine. Like there's nothing wrong with that. Oh, fine. I can't find it. There's this push-in shot over the grass. There it is. It's so hard to stop this thing in time. So this push-in shot over the grass is a good example of, there's a bumpy gimbal thing, of poor shot continuity, and that like, okay, this is a pretty good shot. It's over. You got the motion from the bush or whatever, you know, it's a little overexposed, and I would like that horizon to be a little straighter and a couple little things, but overall it's a cool shot.
Yeah.
So you introduced the building. Cool, great, good job. The end, you kind of ended the shot a little late. I think you kind of bumped around.
Yeah, it kind of went off to the left.
But this is the thing. Then you go here again. I get it. I don't need to see the building again. It's a waste.
Yeah.
You don't need to waste that shot. Like this has none of the interest of the other one. So I had a good taste in my mouth of a cool shot, and then I'm like, I wonder what it looks like a little closer. Like, you know. So I would say like kind of
You
like
could have gone like way close if there was something interesting, but it's like kind of the same
or
shot.
or like go and do macro stuff of like details around the building, or like
Some flowers, the palm trees, whatever.
do something
Sunflare.
interesting. I don't know.
Do the classic up in the tree, sun coming through the leaves.
Who knows? There's a bunch of stuff you can do there. If you're trying to say like I want to give you more of a sense of place, I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. But I would say like that's clearly the same sequence.
Yeah.
So
I want to hit a couple of comments real quick. So Ron, you asked how much gimbal work I do. We have behind the scenes videos, so you can literally watch me shoot a wedding. But we also have our film breakdown videos. We haven't done one in a while, but if you look back on the channel, I show some of my films with exactly what I'm using for every single shot, so you can see that. And then I only have one camera with one lens. It's a wide lens. That's the only thing I fly, so I'm not on it. You know, I'm on it a decent chunk, but nothing crazy. And then we had another comment. Yeah, so Michael, you said that, well, Michael actually said that he doesn't like pulling out. So awesome phrasing there. He corrected himself. He acknowledged the comment. But yeah, so
you should get married then, man.
But yeah, so I actually love, like, that's a kind of a hot topic. I know a lot of people who don't like the shots that are pulling backwards.
I like it.
I love that shot. I love that shot. That's like my staple. That's like
what's wrong with that shot?
Fingerprint.
Who doesn't like that?
I actually know a lot of people who don't. They think it's like a disconnect. They think it like disconnects the audience from the subject.
It's supposed to. It's supposed to pivot the focus from a person to a place.
Yeah.
Or
there's
nothing wrong with that. I mean, I don't know. You can do any shot bad. So you can, you know.
True.
So it's like, okay. So that was like, for me, this is a couple examples. We're not going to show every example, but I would say like kind of thinking about, why am I putting these shots together? Like, what is the story? What's my arc here? Even if it's an emotional arc, it doesn't have to be like a narrative arc. And like, first they went here, then they went here, then they went here. But having like that arc in terms of like, why am I doing this with my edit? And it kind of was like, a lot of this felt like you were just doing stuff to try to make the couple happy.
Yep. I think that's kind of, I think editing and story are, you know, it's one of those things where like, it's pretty intermixed, of course. So yeah, I think like Jason said, think about what you're doing a little bit and why you're sequencing certain shots together. And then, you know, getting back to what we were talking about before, like just, you know, I think that you want, if you're doing this for free, you want to make it whatever you want. And I think you made it what they want, which is fine too, but then do a different cut. Cause I do think like there was a lot, like I think your shot selection could be better. Not that like you didn't have good shots, not that you maybe had way better shots that you decided to trash for some reason, but just like, I think you could have condensed this quite a bit.
Yeah. And the framing, I think you're probably going to mention this, but there's a lot of wrong lead room. Like if someone's talking and they're like in this part of the frame and they're facing, like, I don't know, like if I'm talking like this, it would be like if I was here talking to someone over here.
Yeah, you just got a lot of open
I call
space.
that the horror movie shot, right? Because what that is
makes the viewer uncomfortable.
You're supposed to be looking behind their shoulder saying, who's going to come and get them? Well, in this shot, the horror movie guy is that DJ.
Yeah.
Like,
if we learn nothing, that's what we learned today.
So I would say get your lead room so that you're thinking, who is she talking to, not who's over her shoulder. So that's a big thing. That's, for me, that was it. I mean, we could go through it. I think for a first film, really good. Like, I mean, I'm just always impressed by how good these people are, Bobby, for their first film.
Yeah, I should go back and look at my first film. I honestly don't know if I could even find it. But
I have mine.
I'll bet it was way worse.
We couldn't monetize the video. We'd have to take everything down because we could use all unlicensed music. But I would love to do film.
Back in the day.
I would love to do film critiques of all our first films.
Maybe we'll create like a pseudo profile and be like, this is like, you know, this is Michael Smith's film that he submitted, and then we'll tear it apart and be like, just kidding, it was our first film.
Members, maybe we'll do memberships with that. We'll do a members-only first film review.
Ooh. We could do a reverse review where we submit our first film to members for them to tear apart.
Yes, that would be so fun. If you guys aren't members, by the way, we do have a memberships program, a bunch of different little perks, but we're working on making it even better. We're talking about some ways that we can make membership more rewarding to you guys and make it a better community, more connections. So just stay tuned on that. But you can click on the little box inside YouTube and join the membership.
Just hit join, and it gives you all the different. There's a few different tiers. You can look at what they are. It starts at $5, so
great.
Keep it nice and cheap for you.
So we talked about a bunch of different things. Story-wise, like I said, I didn't like going back to the editing. I felt, or the that's wrong. I didn't like going.
Phil?
I didn't like going back to the getting ready in the middle. That's just like a weird rule I have. Is like going. Yeah. I don't mind some things being out of time, except the getting ready. I'm oftentimes like, unless you can't tell they're getting ready, it's like you're shooting her right after she got her dress on in the bridal portrait session or whatever. But like the makeup stuff, I don't want to see that late in the film. That's just me though.
Yeah.
Cool, Bobby.
Cool. What's up, people who's just joining TN Reels, Collaborative Kiwi Studios? Thank you for the shout out on the membership. I know you've gotten some good use out of yours.
You wanna move on to the next film?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so
right into it.
So, this next film is submitted.
Thank you, Jared.
Yeah, by Tyler Redman.
Sweet.
He says
Tyler is one of our members. You can see him there as Collaborative Kiwi Studios.
He's great. He really is, and I really those of you guys that are trying to get better, really appreciate that you guys want to get better. We want to help you get better. So he said this is his 9th wedding. So he said he was an hour late because he got lost 6 different vineyards.
Dang.
The bride didn't.
I don't even have 6 vineyards in my entire state.
I know. It's like I would like to get lost at 1.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the time was tight. The bride did not want to fake makeup stuff, so there's none of that, which I, by the way, don't always include anyway, so I don't really think that's a huge loss. They did like a fake dress thing, Anyway, the time was a mess. And so he said he learned he needs to get better directions from people. You have to have all your gear with him because there's some gear problems. But on the bright side, he says he has a good story. So this is a 10-minute highlight. And if you can answer what the price was, that would be, I think, helpful because it's always good to contextualize stuff like that for me.
And while Jason gets this loaded up, just want to hit a couple comments here. So James, there is a way to know if your film is selected. We do email everybody before like each week, but we ask that you submit each week. So especially if it hasn't been in the last 2 or 3 weeks, we've redone our submission form and we are asking that people submit each week. It's easier for us to keep track of rather than keep a running list. But our film reviews, of course, priority goes to our memberships. You can check out our membership program, hit the join button, and that will give you all the info. You aren't joined by hitting join, but you can click it and get the info on different tiers. And yeah, dude, Michael, I literally have nightmares about arriving late and about showing up and either none of my batteries being in my case or me putting them in and they're all dead. And I'm like, I swear I charged these. So
one time I showed up and shot a commercial job and I had no tripod plates.
What did you do? Like gaff tape it?
I gaff taped the camera up.
Yeah.
I was just like, it was so bad.
Like, this is how the pros do it. Actually.
This is the pros. I mean, I'm just looking at gaff tape, but I had to like take gaff tape and like clump it underneath it to make it flat.
Oh gosh, yeah. Oh my gosh.
It was bad. They never knew. So, all right, let's watch a film.
You can send the file, Jay. Just hit us up in the submission form and let us know you're doing that.
I did
that audio.
Thing. It was just a wedding song.
I really like that drone shot.
Yeah, it's pretty. It gets a little weird coming up. It's like, all right, it's over.
FPV,
oh, no.
FPV, we're going in the window.
No.
Okay, yep.
That's more is not always more.
Sein schönstes Leben erst beginnt. Wo liebend sich zwei Herzen einen, nur ein zu sein.
What language is that? Can you answer that?
Da muss des Himmels Sonne scheinen und heiter lächeln jederzeit.
Sounds like German or
Swedish. I think it's Swedish.
Audio levels.
It's just very strange.
A big one.
Maybe that was me. Maybe I made a mistake. I don't know. It was weird. If that was my fault, let me know. But if that was...
German!
There's a lot of roamy... So can a shot like that, this is just my opinion, Bobby, like a move like that, I feel like that's borderline bad etiquette. To just fly in with a wide lens and just in the face of someone walking down the aisle like that, that's just my opinion.
Look, I think there are things in weddings that might be like kind of bad etiquette and you need to like be cautious of them when you can, of course. I think there are times where we maybe bend the rules of what's etiquette. Like first dance, I'm gonna be not front and center. I'm not center of the dance floor, but like I have no issue stepping in front of guests for the first dance, right? Stuff like that.
I don't feel like the guests, or even when I'm talking, like, yeah, step in front of the guests by all means.
But what I want to say is like, the issue with there's a combined thing where it's like, look, if it makes sense, maybe. But like it doesn't even make sense for this shot because I don't think it's way too much movement for a shot. Well, so it's not even a rewarding experience.
Movement is supposed to exaggerate drama.
Yep.
And this
when you move too much, I think it ruins.
Well, this is not dramatic. Having a random bridesmaid walk down the aisle.
Yeah.
It's not the moment.
Yeah.
The moment, it's just like you don't wear white. Right, you don't do the great push-in on the bridesmaids. You do it on the bride.
I only wear white. I
actually wear a wedding dress when I shoot.
Yeah.
So you can't judge me.
Yeah.
All right, but I just think like flying, like that was probably like 4 feet past this person's head. Yeah. That's a wide lens.
And also then, the shot goes like long, like goes past when they're.
And you're looking at it, and the other thing I look at it is like. Every once in a while, if you're newer.
So Tyler's saying that there's some post zoom in there too.
Oh, good. Okay, that's good. I will say though, like that photographer needs that shot too.
Yeah.
And if I'm running in front of all the bridesmaids with my gimbal, it's not worth.
I will say that I don't really need that shot.
It's not. You don't need. There's just a lot about it.
Coming down the aisle.
You're also one thing I'm noticing. We're gonna keep going, but you'll notice that the colors on this are like neon.
Well, so I know
very
one
saturated.
Thing, yeah, I know one thing that we reviewed one of his films So I reviewed. You guys actually didn't even get to see it. So I reviewed one of Tyler's films. He became a member, top tier member, so he gets one guaranteed review, even if we don't do it live. And he wanted to do it private. So I reviewed it privately and uploaded a video. So I know he was using 2 different cameras that were like very, very different. And it was a distinct difference.
Leaming Lutz,
so
man.
I know, so we should, we should. Yeah, I would actually love to have you talk about the color grade a little bit because I know you're a good resource for that.
I would just say looking at it and going, there's a thing called we'll talk about it later, but just notice how neon the colors are and how saturated they are.
Yeah.
We're going to buzz through this one too because this is a long film, so we're just going to keep going.
Till you placed your heart in mine. We came alive.
I love your practical understanding of the world.
That's cool. You have multiple languages.
That nothing is impossible
Wait.
for you. Can't see the vines from the
how did you do the German side of it? Do you
it?
speak German?
I love that you believe in me and challenge my crippling self-doubt.
So I'm looking at the audio meter on this. One of the things I want to tell you is set your speech audio to mono. It's all on the left side. So in editing, like take that audio and I can't really show you guys, but I'm looking at these meters.
And dual mono?
Yeah, dual mono on speeches.
Yeah.
I always will set the speeches to dual mono instead of, because sometimes there's all different things. Like for instance, if you're using a DR, that's not a DR10, but if you were, you have 2 channels, you probably want to get rid of one. But either way, you want to have mono speech audio. You don't, unless you're doing stereo for a reason, I don't think it's worth doing correctly. And you definitely don't want your speeches to be hard panned to the left side and not in the right side at all. So if you're wondering why does this sound weird, it's because it's only coming out of the left speaker pretty much. All the speeches.
I do a mono as well. I do want to, I don't know if you heard me collaborate Kiwi, but what was it like working with different languages?
Oh yeah, I always.
That's got to be tough. I've done it a couple times. I don't like.
Oh, that was a tonguey kiss.
Woo!
She was going for it.
I love your
what is on your lens? It's dirty.
Which has left me speechless.
I think sensor.
Sensor.
I think that was
and that you're always
discussed earlier in the comments.
And you squeeze my hand. Every first person says, "There it is."
I think that's a pretty solid shot right there.
I think so too.
Who was just like behind them?
It looks weird, and I can't figure out what's up with the skin tones.
They look a little pink or a little saturated, but
Okay, so
You
I'm
got
gonna.
the right angles though.
So here's my. I'm gonna skip some of this because it goes forever. Because when you're doing a highlight film, if this person paid for a 10-minute film, you need to explain to them if you can or can't do it. But when you're doing a highlight film, there's no reason you should have it be like blah blah blah, leave him transferring of the mics and him getting his speech out and like cut all that stuff out. There's a whole point of editing, is like cut out all that stuff because like there. I think there's a shot up here where I counted like a minute-long shot of these people and
My beautiful Jasmine, words can't express.
Oh, I
what
love
you
his
mean to
voice.
me. And seeing
Worth the
you
wait.
today,
Never mind.
Looking so spectacular.
I
makes
take it all
even
back.
harder to find the right words to describe how lucky I am to have you as my
That's
bride
like
and
that's like
soon-to-be
jump
wife.
cuts, but I dislike it more somehow.
The first time I saw your face, I didn't believe it was possible for anyone to be so attractive. I wish
Okay, do you want to pause real quick? So one thing I noticed there, you have this weird, this spurt of like, actually I want to talk
It
about
looks
two
like he
things.
has
You have
like
this,
skin correction on. Sorry.
I was gonna say that you have this spurt of like really fast cuts randomly, which is like just seemed kind of weird to me. So Collaborative Kiwi, this is his film. He says that they ordered a 10-minute film. So that's one thing I think, I don't know if I talked about it with you. I know we've talked about it, Jason, on just the live reviews we do every week about like, I think it's really important to know what you can and also what you want to deliver. And like, yeah, like you said, this could have been done in 3. So that's what you said. We're not at the end yet. So I don't know if 3, but maybe 5 or something like that. So like
7-minute
there's
film
some-
at the most.
Yeah. So there's something to be said about you being like, we as wedding filmmakers need to take control a little bit. Like it's really tough, right? Because you don't want to lose a contract, right? You don't want somebody to say, well, I want a 10-minute film and they're not going to do it. But most people say they want a 10-minute film because somebody they know said they got a 10-minute film. Like not because that's what they want. They don't know what they want.
Well, Jared and I
Tell
have
them what
done
they
over
want.
750 weddings. None of them have been 10 minutes.
Yeah, I won't do anything longer than 8 minutes.
Our
and I
films are
don't even
5
like
to
doing
7
that.
minutes, but what we do is we say, "Oh, but we have linear cuts. We'll give you our speeches. We'll give you all.
Yep.
We'll give you all your ceremony. We have like that's our package. Like
That's what
instead
we
of
do,
doing a
too.
10-minute package, and so we'll tell them, "Oh, you're going to get an hour of video."
Yep.
But I don't ever do this long highlight film because I want the highlight film to be dope on a rope. Like I want it to be.
Well, I want it to be shareable and something that,
Shareable.
like, when they share it on Facebook, like everybody watches 80% or more of it, right? They are engaged, they are sucked in, and there's a certain point. I mean, we're obviously pausing a lot because we're critiquing, but if I were just watching this, whether if I'm not the bride and groom or immediate family, I'm a friend, and I was just watching this, I guarantee there's a certain point along the way where I hit pause to see how much time is left, and when you do that, you have lost that viewer.
yeah.
Most of the films I make are 3.5 minutes,
Sales.
and that's what I like.
Sales is all about like dealing with the customer who's barely interested. Like I know for a fact with Wedding Film School on our YouTube channel, there are things we do because we just this is right. But I know like most people are skimming through our YouTube channel, even our subscribers, they're barely interested. You have to get their attention.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
that's how it is with clients and everybody. So we're gonna keep going.
Cool.
I might be skipping some of this because it's more
At
of
the
the
next
same.
break, or real quick
Cool,
before you
that-
go, so Buddy, yes, so I don't know if you can shadow us. Where are you located? Let us know. But we do have a BTS that went up a couple months ago. If you haven't watched that, it's about 45 minutes. It's myself, or it's my BTS, because I run a company. Jason and Jared run a company. They're on the East Coast. I'm in the Midwest. But yeah, you can watch that. It's chock full of stuff. And then we've got a bunch of upcoming BTS. We have to wait, of course, for wedding season to actually start. My wedding season starts in a little bit here. I don't know if I'm doing BTS right away.
We got a
but between the
BTS
three of
actually.
us-
We're shooting in 2 weeks.
Sweet. Yeah. So we've got a lot of BTS coming up. We know the channel, our subscriber base loves that, and we love putting it out.
We're doing
there.
about 6 of them this year. Hopefully, that's our goal.
Yep.
So
Yep. They're a
We're
big
out of my
project.
league, which made me so nervous that on our first date, I locked us out of my flat when I came out to greet you.
that's funny.
But like our relationship, we managed to look past the obstacles and found a way back in. I consider you my soulmate. We made long distance
That is some
relationships
weird
for
color.
3 years through sheer determination.
Like, I don't mind
We
this
grew
color
our
that
love.
much.
This is
This looks
okay.
natural.
The saturation
be
is a little
better, but
weird,
it's
but
natural.
I think the
Ish,
color's
yeah.
Because of
okay.
my burning desire to protect what we have, I found it easy to compromise on.
I'm gonna
things
talk over
like
this
the
guy.
number of sports we watch,
Yeah, you got to cut
kind
that.
of music
But
we listen to.
just so we can get going. But
Meeting you
I want to say this.
has changed my life
One of the things
in a positive way.
I normally
I love you
think it's
so much
bogus when people say gear doesn't matter,
with yours, and
because
make
gear is the problem
you.
in this
I promise
film.
to put our
Like
family
you
first.
need a monopod.
Promise to always look
You need a if
work on our
you need
relationship.
like tripods. You need longer lenses. Like you need the same cameras. Like
I promise
you can make a better film without it. Don't get me wrong. Like you don't
Yeah.
need those to make a better film.
I make
But a lot of these problems would be mitigated by gear. So this is right here. This is what I was telling you about. Cut this.
Yeah, it's just dead. You're like, okay, so when you're in a podcast, right? Shout out to Wedding Film School podcast. But what you don't want is dead air. This is the video equivalent of dead air. It's where nothing's going on.
Yeah, and you want to
don't
get
want
like.
that.
So I'm assuming that's like a hand fasting or something like that. So you
Yeah.
cut right to when she talks, and then make sure you have that tight angle right on her hand. Is that
Yeah.
your camera back there too?
That looks like a phone, maybe a live stream.
Yeah, but it's like
Yeah,
get,
what is that? Left of frame, left of the bride. Is that yours? I don't think it is. We haven't seen that angle.
but you get it tight on those hands. Like, be a storyteller. Tell people what to look at. I feel like this could have been this whole sequence. This like him talking to this part.
Okay.
It could have been.
With your license to let you know that you're newly married. Yoo-hoo!
Yeah.
Yes,
Like I'm just.
absolutely.
This doesn't match the music. It's just.
Go to someone to believe.
All right.
But I think there's just a lot of audio there from the lady who's officiating that like isn't. Like that's the thing. I think you could take the. I mean, granted, again, right? I mean, we have him in the comments, right, where he says they order a 10-minute video, so he had to deliver 10 minutes. Like I get it. I'd fill time with random crap too.
Get more
But-
B-roll, bro. That's what
Yeah,
I'll tell
but
you.
I also think like there's a lot of this lady that's just like, yeah, you don't really need it. Of her
the,
talking.
the way to extend your film is to say, okay, you got a 10-minute film. So we're gonna do an extra session whenever I sell a 10-minute film.
Yeah,
You know,
that would be ideal.
you- we're-
Go
you
somewhere
got-
epic with them.
And then they
next
go
day.
like, oh, I don't want to do that. And you go, oh, well, I can't have a 10-minute film then. It's like, you need more content. Cause
I mean, that goes back to what I was saying too. Like, be the professional.
yep. And you
Tell them what you need.
believe in your dreams. Believe in yourself. But yeah, okay, moving on. And I'm not trying to roast you either, because there's there's a lot of good here too. But I'm just trying to be as honest as possible. I always look at these films like, what if one of my team came home with the film? How would I talk about it? What would I say to them? It would probably be much worse if you worked for me. I'm much meaner to the people I work with. So.
Also, I like the comment, Michael. Yeah, I'm in your boat. I don't like doing films that long.
It's 5 a.m. You have no clue where I am.
All right, we get it.
I pulled into the drive and slept in
Oh, and the same shot.
That's a big no-no, I think.
or maybe we
And
And different look, different.
now we're gonna show
color
every
tones.
person. This is just one of my faux pas. Is like, you don't need to show every person walking down the aisle. You don't.
I barely even. I don't even know if I film every person.
And then this isn't even people. This is just boobs.
Yeah. This is what a doc edit is for.
We call them linear cuts.
Or yeah.
We didn't know that was a thing. Like, that's trash over there. That was trash. That's more trash.
Are they golfing right after? Are they like teeing off?
If I don't see a close-up shot of him hitting that ball,
At 200 frames per second.
I mean, that camera looks like a GoPro. Like, it just doesn't do it for me.
She's got a beautiful 7-year-old Millie. So
Let's talk about that. Go back to the bride and groom shot there. What do you think? Like, what do you do in this scenario? So this looks like it's tented off, right?
Yep.
What do you like? I'm curious what you do in this scenario, because you have that. Like, do you just live with it? What do you do?
7200. to get some compression, because then that stuff goes away a little bit, right?
Yep.
Definitely don't shoot wide, because it's just going to expose it even more. Try to light them.
Yeah, it's a tough
Try
scenario.
to hit them with light.
I
would probably go a little more underexposed on their faces. I wouldn't try to perfectly expose them because of the scenario. I definitely wouldn't put this shot in there no matter what, because it doesn't.
That's what I was gonna say. Is that like, it's if you can't like if this is an in between shot, right? It's a transition. It's a transition between them coming into the reception and them sitting down, which isn't bad to include if it works. But if it doesn't work, I would.
It's not like an important moment you have to put.
Yeah.
It's like the equivalent of like, kind of right now it's like eating.
The frame rate, if there is any lag, I do have a yellow little exclamation point saying that our bit rate might be a little bit lower. So you take that stuff with a grain of salt as far as like frame rate. If there's any choppiness, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's a tough situation though.
Yeah, it's really hard.
I've gone to her numerous times for advice and support, and honestly, Jasmine, you're brilliant. Thank you.
What's your audio setup there? Sounds like on camera. And you see the board right there. There's probably something you could have plugged in.
If you have bad audio like that, you can't have the music that loud.
Yeah.
But the other thing to keep in mind is that's stereo audio. So if you're using a stereo shotgun mic and you're at an angle and the audio's coming, it's gonna only pick up the left side, an uneven thing. And then if you don't mix it later and fix it, it's gonna be really hard to hear. There's a lot of stuff there. I have no idea what that guy said.
Who was it? Was it Buddy or was it Ron that said they're in Nebraska? Yeah, Ron, what's up? Yeah, I don't like typically bring shadows onto my jobs, but we do need like BTS here and there.
I have about 166 weddings that you guys can help us shoot this year if you're interested.
Yeah, you're not in Minneapolis though. You're not in Midwest. Ron's in the Midwest.
You can fly out here. I could give you 3 weddings in a row.
We will wear you out.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I mean, Nebraska, I don't know where you are in Nebraska. It's not super close to Minneapolis, but yeah, I'm in Minneapolis. If you want me to reach out sometime, if we need BTS, let me know.
Got the DSLR shakes there.
What was that?
The DSLR shakes.
Frame?
I think I saw a little one.
Right. I like that you're using a light. I see it there in the corner.
Is that just like handheld?
I think so.
At least get a strap. At least get a camera strap.
Or yeah, let us know what your like rig looks like. Like,
it,
are you just straight up handheld? Do you have a strap around your neck?
Yeah.
Do you have it rigged out? I don't know.
Yeah, I would say probably. It looks like just like straight up like you're just forearming that thing all day, which is very hard to do.
Well, that's the thing. It's not like you're bad. It's like,
dude,
if I was handhelding in A7S2 or whatever it is,
all day,
dude. Especially at this point in the day, I'd be dead.
Yeah. That's just
full Blackmagic rig, he says.
Oh, okay. So I'm a Blackmagic shooter, so I can help you a little bit with this thing. Because this is I was like, I know what this looks like. This looks like my footage. Are both cameras Blackmagic?
I don't think so.
While we're watching it, did you get did you put a LUT on the color? How did you get your color on the Blackmagic?
Jason's about to revolutionize your life. So that, I would shoot not that direction.
with the Blackmagic with no IBIS, like this is a brutal camera to use. It is a very, very hard camera. Like this is
it's very unforgiving.
The degree of difficulty on it is very high. And like for the style of shooting you want to do, you can't shoot it that way. If you want to do a lot of handheld, you got to rig that thing out and get some weight on it because it is so unforgiving. Or get it on a gimbal, which is not the best because you'd have to get
also unforgiving and RIP your forearms.
We use Blackmagic for Huxley film, and we shoot with cine lenses, and so we use a which you could do small cine lenses and use a. I actually really love the Edelkrone Focus One little focus, follow focus. Because it's heavy enough that you can use it as a second point of contact, and you can hold it kind of like this and follow focus. And like
that's what I use. You want me? I have my handheld rig right here.
Yeah, bring it out. But I would say like get a little bit. You got to get like some weight on that thing, and you got to get that strap on your neck, and you got to like have your movement come from here, not from here. You don't want the DSLR shakes.
Yeah, so you can see this is my handheld setup, and I've got right on the left side here is my, it's not the Edelkrone, what is it, Smart?
Looks like Tilta.
Sorry, yeah, the Tilta follow focus. Got my monitor up top. I've got my chest.
Yeah, actually, they make a chest one now. Small Rig makes one.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
It's really great.
You don't have to,
but you don't have to jury rig one like ours.
And this thing adds so much weight, and that's like equally important for smooth. And I'm not running a Blackmagic. That's with something with IBIS still.
You got no IBIS. You got nothing. If you Tokina, is it Tokina?
Yeah, Tokina.
Tokina makes some lenses with IBIS in them. No,
I don't think it's Tokina. It's it's Tamron.
Tamron makes them.
Yeah.
And Henry uses those with the Blackmagic. So we can have another discussion another time. Sign up for a mentorship. I'll walk you all through it. But but anyway, moving on. Now I'm understanding some of the issues that are in the film. You chose the hardest thing ever to do, and now you're paying the price. It's hard. So I have a lot more grace now. So many songs too. So we're gonna keep moving on from it, but because I think we roasted it. Here's what I want to tell you. You're doing something very, very, very hard, which is shooting handheld on a Blackmagic camera with no IBIS, no autofocus.
Yeah.
So if
I would. So you have two 4K rigs, and then you have a Sony A7S II. Look, you do you, and if you want to like commit to Blackmagic, 100%. But I would be very curious if you wanted to try shooting a wedding with the Sony as your main cam.
I just think if you're gonna do Blackmagic, you can't shoot it the way that you're shooting it. Like,
it's hard to do.
You need to shoot it like a shoulder rig, which has shoulder movement versus hand movement. You need to give it some. And then you need
basically 3 points of contact at all.
Yes,
times.
and I would get maybe a 50 millimeter on it, so you can get bokeh, and it's all about creating a cinematic feel. You got to get in there too. You're way too far away. One of the things when you watch great filmmakers is they will get in there. On the good moments and the intimate moments, they're connect with the couple. They'll give them good prompts, and they'll get in there. And it was kind of you're tentative. Blackmagic, it's not for people who are tentative. It's not for, it will demand everything out of you. So if you want to be that kind of shooter, go for it. I think that's great, but I can understand the challenges. It's very, very, very hard. Every time we shoot a Blackmagic wedding, we're like, why did I do that? Why did I do that?
But then every wedding before you go to you're like, I need to shoot Blackmagic. I love that image.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And I will say, it bums me out that the colors are so bad throughout the film when I know what it could be. So I'm curious, did you shoot video, extended video, or film? Did you shoot B-RAW or ProRes? Like I said, if we want to do, I think this is more for like if you want to sign. If you're not a member, I would say become a member.
No. So he is a member. He's one of our top. He's our top tier membership. But so you mentioned in there, Collaborative Kiwi, Tyler. You mentioned about our mentorship. I know Jason brought that up. You were asking about it. So our mentorship is available. Is it / it's on our
coaching
website, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you just go to weddingfilm.school, it's one of the tabs up top. You can find it.
And if there's not a window of time that works for you, just email me.
Yeah, we'll be flexible.
Yeah,
with you.
yeah. Because I know you're probably in another part of the country, so.
Many thanks to Buddy, our most recent member, just became a member, and Ron. Membership starts at $5. Actually, it's $4.99. We have a few different tiers. I think there's like a $5. I'm just gonna call it $5, but I think we have a $5, a $10, and a $20. It's monthly. You aren't locked in. You can cancel whenever you want, but you get priority for, for film reviews. You get access to a private group, so you have a little more, streamlined access to myself, Jason, and Jared if you have questions. And then our top tier just gets you like, at a certain point we prioritize our members, but if they're all submitting every week, of course, we might not be able to get to everybody. So our top tier is a guaranteed review per month, even if we have to just record a video like this privately for you.
And we're going to be doing, like I said, we're going to be reworking the membership probably at some point to do some collaborative, maybe mastermind type stuff in our members area. So.
Tyler, when I was 17, I was probably playing video games every single
night. Was that a 17-year-old?
Yep. Yeah. So like, you're killing it, man.
Dude, you're awesome. I'm telling you, just stick with it. Just stick with it. I am curious about what you did with the color, because if you don't get that thing.
He did say he shot film B-raw.
Film B-raw, and then did you put a LUT on it? Because I can't see the comments, so I apologize.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm feeding Jason the comments. And yeah, when you get that next film, Tyler, submit it. We'd love to see it.
This is what, I'll give you a quick thing with those cameras. Get that thing. Most LUTs you buy are gonna want to see Rec 709. And if you're new to editing and you're new to color grading, maybe you want to keep it simple. And you want to get that thing. You want to correct your color. Get it corrected, which means white balance exposure. Because you're shooting B-raw, that's easy to do. You should have no excuse to have any of your footage poorly white balanced with shooting B-raw. Everything can be the right white balance because you can always fix it. Then you want to get it to Rec 709, probably, depending on the LUT you buy, and then putting a LUT on it to get the look you want is a really great workflow. With Blackmagic, when you're not super experienced with color and you don't know how to read the meters and all that stuff, like, you can get it pretty close to good. I know that's not like the most efficient color grading, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, what? You told them to do that?" And it's like,
yeah, it's a high level overview. But
anyway,
it's a good way to start.
This film right here is dope, by the way. I'm about to show you a dope film, but before we get into that, Bobby's going to tell us about our sponsor.
Our sponsor, YOLO Live, and they make the YOLO box, which I have right here. My wedding season has been non-existent the last few months. Let me see if this even powers on. It does. There we go.
The battery on that thing lasts like a really long time.
Yeah, it's actually pretty sweet. Anyway, so it's going to be probably overexposed because I'm exposed for my skin. But YOLO Box is an all-in-one streaming and switching solution. I would never, in a million years, show up to a wedding to live stream by myself if I was also shooting a wedding film. But
I would do it.
If I were to do it. Yeah, I know you would do it. You're crazy. But if I were to do it, by some stroke of magic, this is what I would use. This is the, hands down, the simplest live streaming setup that I have ever seen. It is awesome to be able to offer live streaming to my clients. I've done it for a handful of weddings this year, especially with COVID and whatnot. I plan to continue to do it. I think there is going to be a market. I charge $1,000 to $1,500 for a one-camera setup if they also book me for their wedding.
We do as well.
Yeah, if I were to do just live, if I were to get booked just for a live stream, I would probably charge a lot more.
I think we've done like $2,000. I've been paid $3,000 just to do a live stream.
Yeah, and so this thing, you'll actually see me as I power it off. It is touch screen. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I don't think I hit it. But yeah, so pretty cool device. And like I said, this thing I think is $900. It's, like maybe the size of like a Kindle kind of. So it's really small. You just pop it on top of your camera in the cold shoe. You can run multiple cameras into the HDMI ins. There's an audio input.
I feel like they bought chassis from Small HD, because I have a Small HD that looks like it's like the same exact size.
Yeah, you're actually right. You might be right. But I like it. So
I think it's good.
Anyway, you can run multiple cameras. You can switch between them. So when you're live streaming, you can be like camera A, camera B. You just tap it. Really easy to use. And you don't have to bring so much crap. Like I said, this just sits on the back camera, ceremony center aisle type camera, right? And I just run it right into that. It broadcasts out, whether that's through Wi-Fi, Ethernet, SIM card, something like that. And I can also record right what I'm streaming, right? So if I'm clicking around at different angles, it's all recording to an SD card. So many thanks to them for sponsoring. It is an awesome product. It's also a product that myself and Jared and Jason all used before they were a sponsor. So,
yes. We're legit. We're not posers.
Yeah, exactly. And you can check out, if you want, the link. There it is a couple times for you if you do want to check out and buy one of those.
All right,
or just get some more info.
So this film that we're going to watch now is by Felipe Hidrovo. He is an Ecuadorian filmmaker.
Sick.
Yeah, I love the Ecuadorian food. There's a lot of Ecuadorian people in my town, so weirdly, but it's just a place where there's a lot of Ecuadorian people. So I love Ecuadorian people and their delicious food.
Yeah, you can tether to phone Ron as well. You just set it up as a hotspot. I have done that in a pinch. Obviously, you know, you lose a little bit of quality. Well, it depends, but yeah.
You can't do multi-tethering like you could on that's the only. It's not a criticism of it at all. But if you're just so no one thinks like it's not like a Pterodactyl with cellular bonding.
Yeah,
it doesn't do bonding, but I find it works great for most scenarios. But anyway, this is from Felipe. He said this was his first destination wedding, and it was in Europe. And he was very excited because it's beautiful. And I agree with him. So I'm really excited about you watching this film, Bobby. You're going to really like it. It's beautiful.
Sweet.
Such good color.
Switch the audio. Good. Oh, damn. All right.
It's fun. Right?
Dude.
To me, this sequence is a little long.
I was literally just about to write that down.
The editing is cool.
Sweet.
Yeah, he does cool, like boom, boom. Like one of the things I want to this is a great example of using movement in a song along with movement. I'm a musician, so when I think about editing is the first thing I ever did. I'm a meh shooter, but I'm a pretty good editor, and I'm an okay musician. And when I think about there isn't just beat, it's movement into beat.
Yeah.
And there's a momentum that instruments have, and good editors catch that momentum. They feel that vibe. And even though I think he's going too long and I would have liked to see people a little longer or a little sooner, I mean, it's a dope edit. The speed ramps are going with the music perfectly. It's cool. It's cool. And it looks so beautiful. I mean, the drone work in this film is really nice. Right?
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if that's in camera, the little camera turns, or if that's in post.
Probably post.
I like the song, too.
Yeah, I do, too.
Is this Florence? Or Tuscany?
I don't know.
He watched your ring tutorial.
Yeah.
This is goals, though, for some people in terms of color and just the shots.
Yeah, I will say, if you want to pause it real quick, I do. So real quick, everybody who's watching right now, is everything smooth for you guys? Like, I know there might be like a little bit of stutter and whatever, but like, is it like generally okay? Because I've got some warnings popping up on my end, Jason, for like bitrate. But I will say, yeah, I mean the editing, like phenomenal. A lot of your, I mean, like, dang, that opening sequence, insane. But there were a few things here where I thought you were like, you had some overexposure. Like, I think the dress was blown out. I think the shot of the hand.
I think I'm okay with it because
I think like it's totally fine because it just it just works. But I'm just saying, like, if you drop that down, I'd be like, if I'm like, oh my gosh, this is 99% amazing. I didn't see that. I'd be like, this is 100.
I actually have a major criticism with the film, and
is it the horizon is off on this shot?
No. I mean, it's easy to fix. I would have fixed it. You should fix it. The storytelling of it is too slow. I think this is like, you are on the cusp of being like elite level wedding filmmaker.
Yeah.
Your shooting is so good. Your
and
color is
like
beautiful. Your editing is incredible. You got to just kind of like give me a little more to grab onto a little sooner.
Give me something that's not only visual, like, you know, it's
eye
like
candy.
Visual, eye candy, exactly. Like, I need either a story, whether that's audio, but not everybody includes audio, and that's, you know, that's your choice. But I need to see the couple. Like,
let me see their faces.
We have the shot of the bride. We've seen her once. We've seen her face once. How long into the film was that? It was a while.
Yeah, it just took a long time, and that's just a general, like.
Yeah.
I think.
You can have gaps without them. It's just like.
Either like doing like a power intro where you kind of like give everybody everything in like 10, 20 seconds and then kind of slow it down a little. I love doing that. That's one of my favorite editing styles.
There's somebody that we have reviewed once or twice that does these like, and I'm sure other people do too, but he does these like little like 30-second intro sequences and then it like fades to black and goes to like the beginning of the day. And
that's how I do all my Huxley films. I do a 30-second, 45-second teaser built into the highlight film, because then I can I can just cut the first 30 seconds off and release it on Instagram.
Yeah, exactly. You already did the work.
Yeah, but also like I just want to give me a sense of not just place, but give me a sense of this couple and all that stuff. I like to see faces. Wedding films are about people. So anyway, when you can make a human connection with your film, it's gonna be elite. That's what I'll tell you. Is like figure out how to make me know and love this couple. That will sell your next film. They'll say, oh, you'll do this for me. You know, because they don't care about the place, even though it's beautiful. They care about themselves. So beautiful.
That's awesome.
It's so beautiful. I don't feel like I'm splitting hairs though. I feel like that's a important thing to fix.
Amanda, I know this sounds so cliche, and it is, but 6 years ago I met you for the first time.
Weird.
I knew right away I was going to marry you. I thought at the time I was in love at first sight. I saw you as this beautiful girl who's fun, smart, witty, and athletic, and also works at my favorite ice cream shop, Jersey Freeze. Being co-workers and friends, I tried to do everything to spend time with you. I would invite you to the entire office to happy hours, hoping you would come. You would only get one or two. I would pick up the lunch order in the office, hoping you would order and eat with us, which you did a few times.
Like, that's a type of overexposed that I think you can do stylistically. It is overexposed a little, but like in the luxury world, like light and airy.
You're talking about this shot right here.
Oh, this sequence. This one's not too overexposed.
Yeah,
but
this one doesn't look overexposed.
It is a little, but I think it's just this is farther away, so like the light seems to roll off a little different with the lens or whatever. But I think it's the same lens, just farther away. Maybe change exposure.
Sweet prep location.
It's beautiful. It's really beautiful, but. This is debatable, I think, because when you look at a lot of like the light and airy luxury wedding photography stuff, I think they're kind of within some of this tolerance of overexposure. And so
yeah, it looks different on photo though, because I think there's just more information.
totally, it's more than I would do, but I'm not like gonna go like
But
that's terrible.
It's within the threshold of like acceptable.
It could be stylized, but if you want a little improvement, maybe watch your exposure a little bit. I think you'd be a little better off. Yeah, I can see. It does look better on my screen though than what's coming through the.
Yeah, we do deal with a little bit of like compression and stuff, guys. Dang, flying the drone during the
6
ceremony.
years ago, I had my first day at ADP. I was about 3 weeks out
ADP,
of
they're my
college
payroll company.
and super nervous to be starting a big girl job that wasn't at a restaurant or an ice cream shop. My new boss told me, as a first step in getting acclimated to the role, I'd be sitting with someone who's been taking calls and doing really well for a couple of months.
Love that shot.
Yep, that's
It does
that color
everything
is,
right. Because what I love is, first of all, beautiful bokeh, which therefore equals cinema.
Yep. Duh.
Duh.
That's how it works.
Bokeh equals cinema. If you're wondering, how do I cover a ceremony? But what you also do, even though I think the lead is a little off, I'd like to see maybe it pushed a little to the left. So you're,
Yep.
But
A little more centered, but
I do like that I'm looking at these groomsmen. Even if they're not in focus, you're always reminding the couple, hey, your family and friends were at the wedding. And I think that's just really smart when you can do that in an artful way. And there's a lot of this coming up in the film. And the way you covered the ceremony is beautiful. I'd love to know what camera you're on, too, because it looks great.
She said, don't worry, he's really nice, and his name is Mike Wagenblast. Mike, I vow to support and encourage your dreams, no matter how big or small they may be. I promise to always be open and honest with you, and not expect you to be able to
Love
read
that.
my mind.
Oh, what a shot. This song. I've used this song. That's nice too. You got that extra session. This is, if you're doing destination, get an extra session with the couple. Do it.
Yeah.
It makes the film like it's easy to sell with them too. It's like, you're gonna fly me all the way out there. Might as well do it. It's like, don't even if they're like, well, if you're like, it's an extra $800, it's an extra. No, just don't bother flying out there if you don't want to make a good film. Like, get this extra session out of the day, because it literally will sell that next destination wedding, is when you're able to do stylized stuff like this with the couple. Beautiful. I would like to see in a little more like details of what they're doing here, and
some
I vow to be as much of a rock for you as you have always been for me.
Love this.
I promise to remember that corn on the cob is an add-on and not a replacement for potatoes. I vow to never go to bed angry and to wish you sweet dreams every night. But most important,
how smart is that shot, Bobby?
I love that shot. You have like, that's one thing that really is lacking in a lot of ceremony shots, is that foreground aspect.
Well, and also like, what am I trying to communicate with a ceremony shot? It's not the things that they're saying, right?
Yeah.
It's the people they're with.
Yep.
It's like, you can't forget
this is
that.
Really,
it's like
really solid shot.
It's beautiful.
And just beautifully like exposed and color grade. Like, it looks very nice.
Gorgeous. And then like, they're in a beautiful place, beautiful people. I mean, you can't lose,
Yeah.
but great job. But I will say, if you're wondering, how can I spice up my ceremonies? Get a little foreground in there.
That's hard to do though. Really, really hard to do, because people move.
Well, not the people in their seats, especially if you're moving.
I don't know.
If
I've had it happen.
If you're moving, like, I'm assuming this shot was not on a tripod.
Yeah.
It looks, but anyway, great, really smart.
Yeah.
Love it.
I promise to be the best wife I can be and to choose you
This shot I'm meh about, by
every
the way.
single day for the rest of our lives.
It doesn't like fit these. Like those two side angles are so good.
Yeah, it's very meh. I would rather be higher, to be honest, in like over the crowd. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. So my opinion, I would have liked to seen that last shot held a little longer. I could barely see it was fading out before it came in.
Yeah.
So what's your thoughts, Bobby? Why don't we go through that?
Really, really good film. So I'm going to talk about the intro sequence. And when I say that, I mean like it was like 15 seconds, whatever. Really, really cool. Like visual, eye candy, captivating visually. I do think that, as a wedding filmmaker and just seeing a lot of wedding filmmakers, and maybe for other people too, I just felt a little bit lost. Like I felt like you lost me a little bit when I just didn't see the couple for like, I don't know if we got the time frame, 40 seconds, something like that.
They were there right there.
And it wasn't even a shot of the couple. It was a shot of the bride getting her makeup ready or makeup done.
No, they're like flash on the screen for like a millisecond.
Yeah.
But we're at like 30 seconds already. And we're still flying around Florence.
So it was just like it was very, very, very good and well executed, and like
people would dream of shooting that good.
Yes, exactly.
And editing that good.
It would be nice to have something in between with the bride and groom. But like, that's just like I have to say something, right? Because I'm a big fan. Like I'm a big stickler on like I want to open with, or maybe not open, but very soon I want to show the couple.
I think. It's not even. Maybe you could break that rule from time to time.
I think you can't. Like, I think this is like totally like it's still awesome. Don't get me wrong.
I don't think it's awesome. I think
Really?
He's gonna be way better in the future. Like when you see, and that kind of makes you a little sick, right? When you see someone who can edit and shoot like this, that they're actually not even close to as good as they're gonna be. Like, it's like, because the storytelling is very clunky and it doesn't have the momentum. It doesn't have the polish of like, but it's got some of the editing and the shooting chops of those luxury filmmakers.
Oh yeah.
It's like
you can definitely see some like Henry Martin's in here. You can see some,
it's sculpting with time
here. Yep.
Totally. And like, you're looking at this, it's really, 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 but like you got to figure out how to make it breathe and connect with people on a human level. Like there's a thing about when you get good at something, you stop looking at the little details and you start nitpicking is not nitpicking. Yeah. You're actually making like the difference between a $5,000 film and a $20,000 film is like, how can you connect with the couple? I would say take a film like this and submit it at something like WPPI.
Yeah.
Because you're going to get some feedback from these filmmakers because you're talking, man, it's good.
It's real good.
It's real good.
Do we have any notes on how long?
He said they ordered a 10-minute film.
No, how long they've been doing
No,
weddings.
I don't have anything. I posted their link to their website down there. I mean,
so I don't know. I don't think
it's great.
I think it's a guy. I forget his name, but
his name is Felipe Adrovo.
Yeah. So I don't think he's in here.
No.
But I'd love to know how long you're doing it because I kind of get the feeling, right? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong here, Jason, but I get the feeling that he hasn't shot that many weddings.
I get the feeling too. What does he say? Let me read what he says
because
this was my first.
He's killing it on camera. He's killing it on editing, but he's just missing that like wedding flow of the story.
It was a very exciting because thanks to this beautiful world of wedding cinematography, I was able to get to know places in the world and very special to me. I don't know. I mean, I think this is just a person who has all the natural ability and all the skill,
like just so much raw
and
talent.
just needs
and
that a little polish. I mean, this is great, but I think the improvement areas are very obvious. Like, there's a weird audio section too, where it was like a lot of
the groom
fixing
a letter
of the audio, and it's like, man, I don't know about including that. It's a bummer. It's important. So, but
I wonder how it was captured.
Yeah. The little things like that. Crap happens though.
Yeah.
To everyone.
Well, let's move on because
next film.
Felipe is not here. So so Jared's saying that his first wedding film was 4 years ago on YouTube. Yeah. So,
I mean,
I wasn't saying it's his first because it looks bad. I just think like, I wonder how many weddings he shot because I think there is that like flow aspect, but like phenomenal. So. Yeah.
Real good.
Is this our last film?
This is our last film. So, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Those who made it. This is Patrick. I don't know how to say your last name. Patrick Abdi. Tellings is the name of the company. I'll post the link in which I'll try to always do. I won't always remember to do it, guys, but I do know like it's important to let you guys look at their look at them and their work they do. So I'll try to post a link to their website so you can check it out. This is a GH5, G85, a DJI Phantom 4 Advanced wedding. Came from Paul and Ken came from New York and brought their friends and family to Sweden. Oh, he's Swedish. Wonderful. To have their wedding here. It was a super fun day. We had a great time. We spent a little too much time editing the highlight video. And once they received it, we only got a thank you. So we left unsure.
Hashtag wedding videographer.
Yeah. I don't know if any of them. A couple say thank you, but I don't know. That's how it goes. I mean, we can see it being completely cringy, but at the same time, other couples have booked us because of it. But not getting a response from the couple kind of left us unsure of ourselves, and we should keep going at all. What do you think? Here's what I'll tell you. Yes, you should keep going. Not getting a response from a couple does not really mean anything. If you're late, that's kind of on you. Don't be late with your deliverable. I watched the film, Bobby, and it's a good film. But so before we watch the film, Bobby, why don't we show everybody our sponsor one more time, and then we're going to get into this last film.
Yeah, so sponsored by YOLO Live. They make the YOLO box. You can see it with a nice reflection of my screen. You can see me in the reflection. How cool is that? So YOLO box, all-in-one live streaming switching device. The best option for a low budget and just low-key small setup. Really easy to set up and use. You can run multiple cameras. You can switch with the touchscreen between them. Really, really awesome device.
It's great. It's really great.
And also, just real quick, guys, what would help us out a boatload? We've got 20 to 30 viewers in here right now. Go ahead and just hit the like button for us. We'd appreciate that. I think YouTube appreciates that as well and helps us out.
And also, just send us $1,000.
Yeah, just do that. You can just
there's a cash button. I don't know what it lets you do, but just $1,000 helps the channel.
Exactly.
All right, so this is a really good film. Very long, so
well, we should skip around. I know we've had people here for an hour and 40 minutes.
This is a good film though, and you should keep doing it because it is a good film. So here we go.
Yep.
Here's the film.
Love stories begin not when we
The audio
hear
is
someone
really nice.
may be unwilling to see us again, but when they decide they would have no objection to seeing us all the time.
Like I forgot his white
shirt. Not when they have every
shirt.
opportunity to run away, but when they have exchanged solemn vows, promising to hold us and be held captive by us for life.
Every wedding is a sign of hope. We celebrate with two people who believe in the future. And they believe in the future together.
Yeah, like you should keep making wedding films.
And they are willing to face that future, which is
Although,
unknown.
crotch shot, maybe not. Maybe not the crotch shot. Maybe that's why he
requested it. I heard.
Huh? The couple.
I heard the couple requested it. They're like, we need at least 4 crotch shots in this film.
It's like, why do you think I'm marrying this guy?
Yeah.
In a spirit of adventure. So they have hope.
I like that shot a lot.
And they have courage.
Beautiful. I mean, I wish it was a little
and I think it's
white balance a little better, but
which we all appreciate. It's kind of infectious. It's something we experience when we're with a couple like Ken and Paula on their great day.
How do you feel about that little subtle reveal? That's awesome right there, the boat.
Yeah.
I wonder why they went to Sweden. I mean, I love Sweden, but it's interesting.
Ooh, I love that transition.
You're going to notice throughout the film, he does a really good job including the guests in the story. So
that's like, I've already seen more guests than I see in like 5 of my films. I'm really bad at it.
No, guests are like a big deal. Like if we have one of our guys come back with a film and they don't shoot the guests, we're like, dude, that's their friends and family. I
would be fired.
No.
One wedding after with you guys, I'd be
You
tired.
would get better. You would get better. All right, moving on. But there's a lot of good stuff here. The color's really nice throughout the film too. One of the moments people miss when they're shooting, oh, that's a cool boat, is like when the bride and groom are hugging people. Is a great place to get footage.
Well, yeah.
I feel like the mix is a little off there, but I do like including that ambient audio.
Yeah, but like Jared said, good vibes. I like that.
It's great
ambient
vibes.
audio. Yeah.
Ton of fun. So I went to.
Hi, everyone.
Okay.
So there are 65 people here today, inclusive of us.
Hey, I know this song.
Oh, 66 including Matilda. Let's not forget the baby, like dear baby. Well, so just to say, you guys are the people we love. We're so happy that you're here with us. This is such a special moment for us. And
Getting weird messages. Sorry.
I don't know, looking around here today, seeing seeing everyone from every stage of our life.
That's right there is a kind of actually a sophisticated little editing thing that I wanted to point out because it comes by like without even noticing. You have a gap. What do you do with a gap? You show a guest.
Get rid of it. Yep.
You show a guest. So you go, ha, ha, ha. And it's like, maybe this person's actually reacting to what she said. Who knows?
not.
That's the magic of editing.
Yep.
But you've included them. Included them in the film. And that matters to the couple. It's like including the friends and family that they invited.
Especially for a destination wedding.
Yes,
'Cause all those
especially
people
there.
That's gonna be the like cream of the crop guests. You know what I mean? They're flying out there.
And if you're wondering what to do when people are rambling or taking a little too long, including during a talk, including the friends and family, because the pacing of the day of the edit slows down. You have a lot more breathing room to just start including people in the edit. We always will just jam in faces when the film when you're not supposed to be hitting a beat and you're not trying to go do all this cool movement. Save your good shots for good parts in the song and use all your boring but important shots during the boring parts. And it's good editing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they should like this.
Seeing everyone from every stage of our life, right? So the way that we
I'll hold it.
Okay.
I do think this is a little long to me, but I also can understand why you
Everybody
included
take a
it.
deep breath.
It's like a nice, like raw emotional moment too.
How does it feel? Good. Yeah.
I like that. That's a great shot.
Yeah.
So Paula was actually really mean to me growing up. And Paula.
Sorry. That's the audio.
There was a day back during high school, and the ever indirect person Paula is, she told me something very important that shaped my life, and it's a moment that I actually.
Oh, that ringy audio from the DJ. That sucks.
Yeah.
So like I said, it was the sophomore summer, so before I was starting 10th grade, and she pulled me aside, and she said, "Matthew, you better get your act together, because I'm not going to take care of you when you grow up to be."
I wonder if
without a
this
job."
much of the speech was needed.
I was actually thinking about a few words, like pieces of sentences I would have cut out.
Yeah. Like that. See, I want to hit those. I want to hit that harder.
Yeah, I want to hit that with a different shot. That hit right there was.
That was your moment.
Yeah, and what was that shown? Was it the mom or was it just
I
some
don't know. It
random
was just
lady
some
grabbing the
random
veil?
person doing
Yeah.
something that I definitely wouldn't have included.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's supposed to be like, whoom, reveal the bride. Like she's ready now. It's also weird that like we're going back in time again. It's
Yeah.
just like, I don't know. I don't want to be a stickler
I think
about
some
that.
of that's okay.
Maybe that's just how we are. But for me, I'm like, I don't like going back to getting dressed after I've already seen her in her wedding dress. That's just me.
I think this late in it, I wouldn't go back that far.
But I understand not wanting to be traditional all the time.
And
too.
it's the veil. It's not the dress. So
Yeah, it's true. I like that shot a lot.
So I'm Slim.
Yeah, I
and,
love that.
I'm Ken's slightly older brother, and Ken is my best friend. He always has been. Actually, when I was younger, it never really occurred to me that you wouldn't be best friends with your sibling until like I hear all the stories here and like, yeah.
I would have done. Ken's my best friend. Cut. Actually, when I was younger, cut some B-roll so I didn't hear the stuttering. It never would have occurred. Like, make that sentence more concise and just get to the point.
Yeah.
I think throughout
Clean
the
up.
film, there's a lot of audio like that where it's kind of just like going. And you really like the sound bites were good.
Yeah.
Like, that's a great thing that he just said. You could have made it 40% shorter.
Yeah, so Matthew actually brings up a good point in comments. He asks, "Is it distracting to have lyrics going at the same time as a speech? Lyrics in the audio?"
Not my favorite, but I think it doesn't always totally distract me when the guy's just going.
Yeah,
He's not
yeah. I
really-
mean, one, it's not a whole lot of lyrics, but I will say, and I differ from a lot of people. I only use songs with lyrics. I don't think I have in 15 years done a film that was only instrumental.
With Huxley film, we try to use almost all instrumental.
Yeah, a
But
lot
that-
of people do. There's no right or wrong, but I don't have an issue with it.
There
I
is
like
wrong
it.
in terms of like
Well-
if you're distracting.
Yeah.
I think
I don't think it's distracting automatically.
it's not a rule I think you should have.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
You can do it poorly.
Yes.
And you can do it great.
This doesn't really bother me so much. I'm more noticing that like the sound bites are all just too long. They need to be get to the point.
They could be cut up and concise.
A lot of them are good too. The reactions are great too.
Yeah. The text messages in the corner.
Growing
driving me
up,
nuts,
we actually
dude.
moved a lot. Like every couple of years,
Here, watch.
we'd go from city to city, state to state, country to country. So we were the new kids at school a lot. But, you know, it was always all right because we had each other, right? Like, Ken was there.
There, it's gone.
But looking around tonight, I knew this all along, but I can definitely see the proof that as we moved around everywhere, Ken and I guess I made a lot of lifelong friends, and I'm glad we're all here to celebrate together for this couple. Yeah.
But yeah, I would have ended that right on this couple.
This couple, yeah. It's like, move it on. Like that's another example. Like, you know, you don't have to include everything someone says.
Yeah, Jared mentioning he wishes there's a Practilite in the mix.
If only there's someone who had a good promotion on one of those.
Like 25% off. What?
I always like these shots. I'm a stickler for the lay flat drone shot. A sucker for it.
So I've had the fortunate privilege of being with Ken the night he met Paula, which in essence was, well, for me personally, it was like, I'm drunk, let's go home. And
I think he might be
let's
drunk
get this
now.
girl's number and call it a night and call her tomorrow. But he was sold on her. He was like, yo, like, I need to talk to her and let me get some details on her. And
Can you still license this song?
I don't know.
I don't think you can.
It's definitely not a good song
said, "I
choice
met
for
this
what's
girl.
going on right now.
She's the one. That was Paula.
This is killing me, this film, a little bit because of how much, like, look at this. This is a really nice shot of a terrible looking place. So you're a good shooter and like you did a good job, and like that's a tough environment to get a shot in.
Yep.
But there's so much of this boring talking. And I really feel like it could have been better as a highlight film.
Yeah, this seems like one of those films where it's like, how long is this? I don't actually even know.
It's 10 minutes.
Yeah, this seems like I sold them a 10-minute thing because I wanted to get the price of 10 minutes or whatever. Whereas like this I mean, I'll say that about a lot of films, but there is a lot of fluff in here.
If you watch the film, if you just watch our reviews, just know we are always going to tell you your 10-minute film is almost too long. Like,
yeah, cut 3 minutes out. Cut 30%
we're always going
out
to tell
of
you
every
that.
film.
Like, if I look at a 10-minute film, maybe I'll just watch 7 minutes of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
I'll play it at like 1.2 times speed.
So I can tell you that for the next 3 minutes, people are going to give speeches. And you did a good job with the audio, and they all look good. So, you know, but it's still, I don't need to hear it all to know what it is. So we're going to skip a little bit.
In courtship is equivalent to the worst day that you'll ever
Again,
have.
great shot of people. Like, you're doing that's
to
awesome.
marriage, to kindness, to the beginning of the hike.
This song requires more energy on screen than people talking.
Yeah, it's a fast-paced song.
Let's do it. Here we go.
Right. That's good. I like that transition.
I was wanting like another minute of fun and whoa. Let's see if we're going to close on a good shot because it matters to me. Yeah, I love this.
Ooh. Dude, I would have loved to have some audio there.
Yeah, I mean, probably didn't. I think he probably got it from the couple. So.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, it's cool.
So, Jared brings up a good point in chat. He says that we don't use the length of video as a price differentiator, which I think is something that a lot of people maybe should hear. I do use it as a price differentiator, but I only offer what I want to make, which is a 1 song or a 2 songs, so 3.5 minutes, 7 minutes.
It makes sense.
But I think there are a lot of people who just say like, oh, well, I need to have what's a wedding film? Oh, 10 minutes? Okay. And there's maybe not like distinct thought given to that. And you don't necessarily have to use that as your differentiator. There are plenty of people who say, hey, let me make you a film. Well, what does your day look like? What does your weekend look like? What is whatever? And that will determine how long the film I make.
We make 1 film.
Or that, yeah.
5 to 7 minutes. That's all we make.
Yeah.
And then if you want all the other stuff, we sell you linear cuts. Because they make me more money to sell because they're faster to produce. I can pay someone to do it for me much cheaper than, like, I don't need to be cutting a multicam ceremony.
Yeah.
You know, so that's just the way we think about it. Is we're always thinking like efficiency, and so I really want to, like, if you're gonna do these long films, they need to be like a reason. There needs to be a reason to it. We did that film. I showed you guys like I think 3 weeks ago, the Napa Valley film Jared and I did. That was 3 days, 6 minutes. So I was like, and I barely had enough footage. I was like, to make it the way I wanted to make it. So anyway,
there's
overall
rarely
thoughts.
a time where the rule of the more you cut out, the better the film doesn't apply.
Yeah.
The more you can hit the cutting room with that, the more fat you can trim off of it, usually the better film you make. To a point, of course.
To a point. And like people wanting to see their memories, by the way, is not they don't necessarily need to see it in a highlight film.
Yeah.
They just want to see it. So like
just wanna have it.
Giving them all the speeches and stuff is A, you can sell it. People will pay for it. And B, it's easy to do. And if they really are like, oh, you didn't include this in my highlight film. It's like, oh, okay, let me just give you the whole thing. glad to do it. It'll take you 30 minutes. So, Bobby, what was your thoughts in general?
Thoughts on this? So let me hit all the categories. So audio first. I thought the audio was pretty solid most of the time.
Yeah, it was good.
Hey,
It was.
there I am.
There
was like a couple little points at the DJ where I don't know if the DJ was like
Bad.
this is
He was
some
just
echo or
ringing.
whatever,
It was like
whatever. Yeah.
too hot.
But generally like pretty solid. I thought the cinematography was good. I thought that was the strong point. I think you did a really good job with a lot of shots, a lot of coverage, a lot of guests, which is really hard to do.
Get a 70. Get a longer lens. That's my only thing.
Yeah, I think there was a lot on one focal length. I don't know what it was, a 35, a 50, something like that. There's a lot at the same focal.
My opinion about a
Did move
portrait.
in and out though, so
It didn't seem like that he had a portrait session, like a real portrait session, and it didn't seem like the couple was either he wasn't connecting or they weren't connecting, or it just was whatever. But
and
like,
without that, it's hard to get like the close shots, the hands, the whatever, because you might not have had the opportunity. But I think
yeah,
that
I was wanting like a sense of their connection. I could see it, like they like to laugh and that, but anyway, I think the cinematography communicates that.
Yeah, and I think the storytelling was pretty well done. I don't know if it falls into editing or storytelling, where like I do think there was, and again it depends what you got booked for, right? But I do think there was too much, so I would have cut out some.
Yeah, I would say
maybe
that
a little
those are
more
like
concise. But the storytelling is also really well done,
Mhm.
So
I would say that those are like one and the same when it comes to when you're including too much. It's like it hurts your ability to communicate to the audience some of the information you want to communicate, which is who these people are and whatnot. So like by having too much fat slows the film down, and it kind of, it's like get to the point so I can know what the point is. So I think the cuts that you chose were all very solid for the most part.
Yeah.
I wasn't a big fan of the drunk
and there was
guy.
there was one transition I really loved, which was it went to black and then it was a door.
Oh yeah,
opening.
yeah.
It was like in the first third. I loved that, and I think it hit the music too.
Yeah, the whole first third of the film was actually like a totally other film.
Yeah.
Like, and then you
I
could
actually
tell
thought this was the reception. I thought the like boat party was the reception.
Yeah, you could tell when it was like, oh shoot, I have to make a long film, and you were like, crap.
Yeah.
This would actually have been a film that benefited from a less linear use of speeches and use of sound bites. But the lack of portrait session really hurts this film. Like a lack of like that romantic portrait session. So that was the thing I noticed from a story standpoint, is like it didn't have that. I don't know. I'm a stickler when it comes to wedding films. I do want a sense of romance for me.
Yeah.
Like that is what I want to feel when I watch a wedding film. I want a sense of romance to the film. I think, yeah, I mean, I'm old fashioned in that way. So yeah, I think cinematography was very good. I would have liked to see a little use of a longer focal length to get a little more compression and all this. And I think the way the dance floor was covered was not that great. I liked some of it, but
it was edited better than it was covered.
Yeah, it was like very unintentional, and it could have too wide, which some of that's okay. But I kind of want to say like get in there.
Yeah,
this is my big tip to you, like. When people are partying, get in that party. Get in that mosh pit. Get in there. Lenses look different.
Yeah, I feel like so I shot a film with for whatever, like a second shot. Sorry, I second shot for Henry Martins when he was here, and that guy is the master of dance footage, and that was really like, I mean, I would have carried his bags. And I've been doing this a long time, but that guy's like a master. I think he does some phenomenal work.
And he's just way far away? Is that what you're going to tell us? He's just shooting from the side of the room?
No. He's in there. Like the dude's, center circle of the dance floor. And he's like, his dance stuff is phenomenal. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
It was good.
That's what you got to do.
But this is a good film. And you should keep making wedding films. The fact that they didn't like
Definitely.
that's weird.
What do they not like? Like, I don't, that seems really weird.
This is the exact type of stuff couples love, which is just tons of talking. It's like the stuff that I don't love, but I feel like couples love this stuff.
Yeah. That seems odd to me. I wouldn't let that get to you.
Yeah, I think it's good. I think I would love to see anyone who's submitting films who's giving me a 10-minute film, show me a 5-minute film, and then I can really tell you what I think about you as a filmmaker.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard because we don't want to dock you points, so to speak, when we know like you had to deliver 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, but it's like I do think, well, there's no way this is going to be that good.
Yeah, but that's why every single time you're going to hear us say it should have been shorter, and you're the professional. Tell them what they should want.
Yeah, and if you're gonna make a 10-minute film, like, bring it.
Yeah,
Like-
Henry makes 20-minute films.
I made a 20-minute film, and I think it was mediocre, but
and I never will. So
we made one 20-minute film, and it was 4 days of shooting.
yeah, that's the other thing.
With copious interviews.
Yeah.
We intended on making a 20-minute film. We were like, let's try this, and we were like, I'm not sure we want to do this, but regardless, really, really good work, and you should not quit wedding filmmaking. You should keep wedding filmmaking because you're good. It looks good.
Tyler, when do your pricings get reviewed? If you did submit them, we do kind of have them on hand, but we generally do wedding films, but every now and then we'll switch it up to websites or pricing. We will let you know also when we're doing that.
Let's do pricing next week. How about that?
Yeah, we can do pricing next week.
We'll do pricing next week.
Make sure to submit again for us, Tyler. Anybody who wants their pricing, go to the same exact thing, the same link. I'll link it to you again here. Use that same exact link for the Wedding Film School review. That's whether you want pricing, website, or your film reviewed. But we'll do pricing next week.
Yeah, and we're going to be...
let's submit it again, is what I'm saying.
We're going to be changing the format of the show soon a little bit to make it even more interactive and a little more fun. So we're going to be having more elements like this in the thing. So you guys are the best, by the way. Thank you guys so much for participating in Wedding Film School.
Yeah, it means a lot. I love we've had interaction the entire time through the chat, which I love. So thank you guys. As we wrap this up, few last minute things. First of all, on your way out, please hit the thumbs up button. We would appreciate that. I'm assuming you're all subscribed. If you aren't, make sure you are. Hit the bell so you know when we're going live with this and other things, and when we're dropping new content like our podcast and our tutorials, gear reviews, stuff like that. Many thanks to our sponsor, YOLO Live, creators of the YOLO box, which you can check out at the following link if you want a all-in-one live streaming and switching device, perfect for the filmmaker that doesn't want to bring a bunch of gear. And other than that, guys, we're going to see you guys next week. Sounds like we're going to do pricing reviews. So make sure to go to that weddingfilm.school/live review tab, or just weddingfilm.school, and then click on the submit tab and submit your pricing guides. Did I say pricing? Did I say website reviews?
Pricing. I could do website too. We could
mix it up.
We can mix it up. We just won't do films. We'll do like pricing website.
Yeah. We'll be able to get through a lot more people too.
Thank you guys for hanging out with us.
Yeah. Sweet.